Good afternoon. It is day 88. And my question today is, you ever catch somebody in a lie? How does that make you feel? I just caught one a while ago and it wasn't anything terribly significant. It's not somebody I know. It was just somebody whose email came through after a workshop they'd been through. And when they were asked the question in a survey why they didn't sign up for the follow-up, their response was that it was too expensive. Well, I was on the workshop and this person dropped off before they got to the point to tell what the next step was. So yeah, they lied. Not a big deal. But how often do you catch yourself lying to other people, to yourself? And I'm not talking about the blatant, things that are gonna hurt somebody. It's the things, the little things that we call white lies because we don't wanna hurt somebody's feelings. Maybe they've given you an invitation for something and you just really don't wanna go. But rather than saying, maybe another time, or something to that effect, you gotta say, oh, you know what? I already have plans that evening. Or, oh, I have to work that day. We have something special going on. And as I've considered the post from a couple of days ago, where I was talking about choices relative to addictions, I realized that's what a large part of the underlying thing is that we get used to lying to other people, or we get used to lying to ourselves. And I know one area that I struggle in is the scheduling thing that I've talked about a couple of times. And one of the things I've been working on over the last couple of weeks is this idea of a doable week or an ideal week. And I've mapped it out so perfectly, and the whole idea is supposed to be that you put these blocks of time and that you stick to the blocks. And when you're done with that block, if it ends at 2 o'clock, you move on to whatever's in the next block. And you just hang out there until that block is over. And what I find is that it's super convenient to sort of start shifting the blocks around a little bit. It happened to me this morning. I have my time blocked from the time I get up at 5:30 a.m. until 9 a.m. And it's to include everything pre-work, meaning my workout, prayer, Bible reading, devotion, getting a shower and getting dressed, even getting this video done. But what did I do? I jumped into work early because I didn't want to go out to walk quite as early as I had scheduled because the weather was looking kind of iffy. So then when I got back, that threw that off. By the time I finished that and actually got into my first block of the day, I was kind of behind. And then I got into the next block, which I couldn't finish until shortly before 1 o'clock. And then came lunch and needing to run an errand during lunch. So here I am doing my video several hours later than I had it blocked to do. And you might look at that and say, oh, come on, you're stretching it when you're saying that you're lying to yourself. But if I had put that schedule in place for somebody else and they were depending on me to keep that schedule, and let's take it off of the schedule thing for a minute. Let's say you've made a commitment to yourself to cut back on sugar, or to exercise a certain number of days of the week, to go for a walk in the afternoons. You've made some commitment to yourself, but you can always come up with an excuse. You can always come up with a reason that you can't get that done right now. And as the day goes on, you end up not getting it done at all. So consider when you're telling other people little white lies that you are lying, and you're doing the same thing to yourself. So I'm going to encourage you to start trying to tell the truth, especially to yourself. And it's going to take some work, because if you're used to lying, even if it's little white lies, it's going to take some work to get used to how to phrase things so that you're being honest. So, just a thought. It's day 88. I am signing off, and I'll see you tomorrow.